this action from the final round of the Volkswagen Cup is proudly brought to you by Engen, Primex, Unleaded, Volkswagen Motorsport and their associate sponsors.
Welcome to Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, the last race for the Engen Volkswagen Cup season. So this race meeting is all about gaining momentum for the new season. We cross now to Greg Maloney to find out what happened in qualifying.
Thanks, Liren. But before we go to qualifying, just a big bit of news coming out of pit lane. A big crash between Shorter and our newly crowned champion, Devon Robertson, means he won't be making it out for the qualifying sessions. It's team tactics that are going to come into play here, and you're going to see all the teams trying to work together to get to the front end of qualifying. It's vitally important to try and use that slipstream effect, particularly down the new straight and up, down through that mine shaft. It is going to be so crucial to use your teammates if possible. And you can see there, the Universal Health team working well together, as are the two Volkswagen Driving Academy drivers, and Kuda Vazuri and Jonathan Mkhotsi are going to the front end rapidly, both of them getting up into the top 6 and looking pretty tasty. But it was Jean Gabber and Darren Oates that dominated at the front end and got to the front after qualifying and finished. In the Super Bowl, though, a small change-up. Gabber stayed at the front, Jeff Kruger squeezing through with Clinton Mercedes to get ahead of Mkhotsi, Kuda Vazuri, and a little bit of issues there for Darren Oates, not quite getting the lap he wanted, finishing down in 6th place in the Super Bowl. Confirmation of the grid positions now. Jean Gabber on pole, exactly where he needs to be to try and wrap up the Masters title. Jeff Kruger will be alongside him, pushing hard. And then Clinton Mercedes, the only signature motorsport car up in the top 6. Brilliant from Mkhotsi and from Kuda Vazuri to be in that top 6 hunt. And Darren Oates looking very good this weekend. Ben Hubig with a little bit of issues down in 7th. He'll be fighting hard with Tasman Pepper to try and remain in that top battle. Justin Oates with a couple of issues down in 9th. Super effort from Shorter to recover after that big crash. He's in 10th, ahead of the 2nd place in the Masters, Jana van der Westhuizen. Then it's Daniel Dominey. A great effort down in 13th for Simon Need. And Carlos Frankert getting better and better every single time he gets into the car. Jan Pretorius down in 15th place, just ahead of Trappies van Tonda. Went to the draw now for the second race, and Jean remained pole. He'll be happy with that. Where is Darren Oates going to end up? He's certainly looking to get a bit higher there. Finished up in 3rd place after the draw. Clinton Mercedes dropping down into 5th. Where will Mkhotsi end up? Is he going to be on that front row? Yes, he is. Oh, development drivers versus Glassfit and C-Track. Jeff Kruger means he'll be down in 6th place, not quite where he wants to be. And Ben Hubig up into 4th.
Matt, yesterday in practice there was a big accident. Take us through it.
So myself and Devon were working together, pushing each other around the track, trying to gain some time. And coming into the last corner under braking, I didn't see him lose control in my mirrors. So as I turned in, as I got to the apex, then Devon came across and hit me, luckily in my door, minimizing the damage on my car. But yeah, unfortunately for him, he ended up with 3 broken ribs and in hospital. And won't be able to participate, so I wish him a speedy recovery.
Benji, you're in the top 6 draw for race 2, but you're writing exams and racing this weekend.
Yeah, I just got back from an exam now, so exam started and we're trying to balance everything. So it's a little bit difficult, but we're managing it somehow, and yeah, I hope for good results for starting 4th for race 2, so hopefully we can keep it there and hopefully move up.
Jono, it's been a good weekend so far, starting 4th in race 1 and 2nd in race 2.
Yeah, I'm feeling very confident. The car's feeling quite good this weekend, so I hope to go out with a big bang today.
We've had one big bang already. We don't need any more of those. But of course, with Engen Volkswagen Cup, there's always big banging. Wing mirrors start to go flying, especially at this time of the season where there's nothing really to worry about other than getting to the end of race number 1 and race number 2 here today. And with those Dunlop tyres on, these guys and girls are going to fight hard here to sort out who's going to have the final blow of 2017. Jean Gabber just needs to finish up in the top 5 to wrap up the Masters title, with Sean Leresve unfortunately not making it out here. It's pretty much plain sailing with him. And as they get off the line, it's a great start there from Gabber as he heads down into turn number 1, leading things out. We go on board with Simon Need. He'll be one of the top contenders here for a good finish in the Masters and probably looking for a podium here, along with Jana van der Westhuizen. He tucks in behind Daniel Dominey, who's fighting hard there with Justin Oates as they come down towards Crowthorne. Jean Gabber leading things out. Good start from Kruger. Kruger's up in the 2nd. Mkhotsi going side by side there with Clinton Mercedes. And in fact, Kuda Vazuri trying to squeeze through the 2 of them as well. Daniel Dominey running ever so slightly wide, bringing Tasman Pepper along. In fact, Taz also getting blocked ever so slightly there by one of the red and white cars. I think that was Paulus Franken, who just squeezed her out. In fact, no, it was actually Jonna van der Westhuizen. Coming out of the top now, and Justin Oates goes side by side. Van der Westhuizen just ahead of him. He's going to try and tuck in there and use the slipstream along the short straight. No, he stays on the left-hand side, deciding he can pull along himself. Simon Need under attack though on the inside. Just behind Daniel Duminy, who's looking pretty good at this stage, running just outside the top 10. Jean Gerber disappearing at the front 10. Jeff Kruger pushing hard, locking brakes up in the clubhouse. Under attack from the Glyco car of Clinton Mercedes. And look at Ben Hubig. Much better outing now for Hubig. Looking to go on the inside of Kuda Vazuri as they go into the S's. He's looking to squeeze through there. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Vazuri having to go a little bit wide. Oh, Kuda comes straight back at him, though. And right on their tail is the hard-charging Darren Oates. Oates didn't get quite the start he wanted, but he's now looking to get back into that top 6 rapidly. Onto the braking point, and at to the top of the hill in Leeuwkop. 4x4, they go into Leeuwkop corner. Great late braking there from Jonna van der Westhuizen to keep Justin Oates at bay. Oates side by side. Simon Need now around the outside, the long way around Leeuwkop. Not quite the line you want to be on there, because it is going to cost you. And there you can see as Tasman Pepper comes up on his inside, he loses out a little bit of position. But oh man, Tasman Pepper was under attack as well. Justin Oates squeezed up the inside of her and found a way through. Look at Need. Where is Simon Need going? That is not a cross polo, Simon Need. That's a normal polo. Tasman, great evasive action. Oh no, a little tap there for Justin Oates, and man, that's going to be costly. Johan Pretorius, I don't think had anywhere to go, and just tried to avoid the sliding and slipping there from young Justin Oates. Well, they sort things out and calm down ever so slightly as they come back down into Engen. But this race is certainly not over. A little bit of issues at the back there for Justin Oates. That could be costly. I think he might have broken something. Here's the onboard once again from Simon Need's point of view. He goes on the grass, catches it, comes back in. There's the tag just behind, and oh, in the rearview mirror you can just see the mayhem. Oh, Simon Need survives that one. This is what it looked like from Justin's point of view. He comes down on the braking point. There's Need. He tries to avoid him, goes on the inside, and bang! Gets tapped from behind by Johan Pretorius, then tags the back end of Tasman Pepper. He had nowhere to go. Just a pinball there, unfortunately, for Justin. Darren Oates, his brother, though, diving on the inside and finding a way through on Ben Hubig. He now moves up, looking for a top 5 finish, or even into the top 4 if he can. This is looking back once again as he just eventually cements that position and gets ahead of Ben Hubig in the Neural car. Great driving from Ben Hubig. He's off, of course, to go and represent South Africa at the World Karting Finals. And we wish all the drivers that are involved in the Extreme Festival the very best for that. Now as they head down towards this incredibly quick corner. Sunset is one of the most amazing corners to go through, particularly in a front-wheel drive car. And I can tell you, Machotsi is making that front-wheel drive work hard. He's closing in on Besaidenote. Besaidenote looking in his rearview mirrors. He knows that Machotsi's coming. He's trying to get ahead of Kruger. Kruger today just doesn't seem to have an answer as we see cones flying. Daniel Duminy closing on the back end, looking for a way through there on Janu. Janu van der Westhuizen, the man from Cape Town, is under attack. Simon Need just behind, watching both of those Pepper Racing cars give the man from Universal Health a very good run for his money. Tasman Pepper now on her teammate's tail, pushing Danielson along for the ride, and Double D is certainly up for the challenge. As they come up onto the breakers, have a look in the background now. Oh man, it's so good to see these cars in full flight, and certainly fantastic little bit of action being put on here. This is the second last race of the season. It's the final round here for the Engen Volkswagen Cup, and they hold nothing back here. It's so good to see. Down on the breakers, Jean Cabot now pulling away from Jeff Kruger. As I said, Kruger just doesn't seem to have an answer today. Looks like Jean Cabot just wants to cement this Masters victory and do it with a victory overall in race number 1. Machotsi has closed on Besaidenote. Besaidenote's under attack. Clinton Besaidenote could be in trouble here in the closing stages. If you just got to try and keep it all together. Don't clip that curb. That's Daniel Dumany's corner there. Remember the last time we came to Kyalami, he got completely out of shape. So did Devin Robertson, who of course is not here. And we wish him all the very best for a speedy recovery. Now across the line, only a couple of laps to go. Jean Gerber has got this in the bag. He's got to just keep it on the black stuff and stay smooth and steady up front. The glass fit and seat track man looking good in the background. Look at the battle though raging. Oh, both of those Pepper Racing cars have snuck through, and Jonna van der Westhuizen is in a bit of trouble. He goes side by side there with Daniel Duminy as they head down towards turn 1 here. Let's see in the background, we just pick up on that action. Here they come. Oh, this is so good. Tasman has actually got to the front of that battle, and Daniel Duminy now side by side, under braking. Janu's on the inside. Oh, that is just brilliant stuff. The man from Belito taking on the man from Cape Town, and the two of them just holding station right now. And it looks like Jano has now become the meat in the sandwich there between the two Pepper Racing stable machines. Tasman Pepper trying to get up to the front end. Hasn't quite had the same kind of pace we've seen from her all season long. And this weekend, just doing the duties of trying to help her young teammate out to get up a little bit higher in the junior championship. Nice fight here for second and third. All of a sudden, Besaidnot's got the hurry up, and he's closing in on Jeff Kruger. Reason being is he's got big pressure coming from behind. We're on board here with Besaidnot. The Glyco Signature Motorsport car turning into the S's. Great action here. This is so good to see how this youngster's working hard. Very smooth behind the wheel as he comes up the second S and heads up to the top towards Leerkop. Runs a little bit wide there, a little bit of the rumble strip, so he's using a little bit more of the track than probably what he should do, but it's certainly working from right now. No one seems to have an answer though, and that glass fit and C-Track car of Jean Cabot that we're on board with right now is just pulling away from the rest of the field. He has been dominant all weekend long, quickest in all of the sessions yesterday, and he went well both in qualifying and the Super Pole to maintain that front row, and he's now putting it into a possible victory. Look at Besaidnot. Man, those Dunlops were sliding through there. That is so good to see. What a lacquer shot there as they came through Crocodile. Besaidnot, absolutely all four wheels sliding out of the mineshaft sweep. Checkered flag is on standby. Jean Cabot has got this. Late braking, smooth gear change, and onto the main straight for the final time here in race number 1. It's going to be Cabot who's going to take the victory. He's going to take the Masters title in the Engen Volkswagen Cup with this victory. Jeff Kruger's going to come through for second with Besaidnot on his tail. Darren Oates eventually getting through right in the closing stages to beat Machotsi to the line. And Ben Hubbig up into the top 6 after a fantastic battle with Kuda Vazuri and Matt Shorter. There's confirmation of your top 8. Vazuri there in 7th, as I said. Matt Shorter in the Moog suspension car, down there in 8th place, but a fantastic recovery from him.
Clinton, you've just finished a very hard 8th lap, but I see you getting in some extra practice.
Yeah, just playing this game here, Project Cars. It's almost the same as the Polo. I'm just driving Audi R3 now. But yeah, almost got it there. Yeah, it went throughout the race. John had a lot of pace. Me and Jeffrey were struggling to catch him. But overall, it went all right. If we can get a 3rd or 2nd in the championship, it will be a great race.
Jeff, a hard-fought race 1.
Yes, no, race 1 was a very difficult race, especially in the heat here today at Kyalami. It's a scorcher. No, but it went all right. We started second and then sort of maintained the position the whole race. Had to keep the gap between myself and Clinton quite constant. But yeah, John today is just too quick for us. So yeah, the next race I'm starting P6. It's going to be a very difficult one, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'd just like to thank Universal Healthcare for putting on such a show today, and of course my dad for all the hard work. So let's go for race 2.
Jean, congratulations. Officially 2017 Masters champion.
Yeah, awesome. What can I say? So far, dream weekend. Thanks to Helped Racing, Glassfit, C-Track, Sameka Capital. The package really came together this weekend and I finally converted from pole. So absolutely stoked. Yeah.
Phenomenal stuff coming up straight after the break with race 2 from the Engen Volkswagen Cup. Welcome back to Kyalami, the Motorsport Festival, and race 2 of the Engen Volkswagen Cup. Massive crowds coming out here, and they were entertained big time. Penultimate round of the Extreme Festival, but it's the final race of the season now for the Engen Volkswagen Cup. And everything to play for. Who is going to have that last bit of the attention that's required to get to the front end of this incredibly competitive field? We've seen action at the front so far in race number 1, and Jean Cabot winning things out and taking the Masters title. So there's literally no more titles to play for other than that little team award that gets handed out at the end of the year by Volkswagen. Lights on, lights off, and we are good to go. Fantastic start once again there from Jean Cabot. Much better start coming out of Kuda Vazuri, and a good start there from Machotsi, because he is on the front row alongside. Where is Clinton Besaidnot? He's just got nothing in a gearbox. Left, right, every gear he's looking for, there's nothing available, and the Glyco car has given up right in the closing stages of the season. What a pity there for the youngster. Great start from Darren Oates. He's come through very nicely from that 4th position on the grid up into 2nd now. Jean Cabot dropping down ever so slightly, but look in the background how they start to fight for the leftovers of the top 6. Machotsi from Oates, from Cabot, from Kuda Vazuri. On Kuda's inside there, looks like there was big pressure coming from Jeff Kruger. Kruger applying the pressure early on as they head down the short straight. Simon Need off the track again. What? That guy has spent more time off the track than on it today, I think. No, in fact, he goes into that turn on the black stuff. It was actually Jana van der Westhuizen this time. So the two Masters fighting for second and third in the Masters racing here today are having some fun and games of their own. Oh, and Jano once again late on the brakes onto the back end of Tasman Pepper and Daniel Domini, resuming that battle from race number 1. Into the S's, Machotsi and the two Glassford C-Track cars pulling away. Kuda Vazuri doing a great job of blocking the rest of the field. Jeff Kruger can't get through. Neither can the Moog suspension car of Matt Shorter. Neither can his teammate, Ben Hubig. It's kind of the battle of the teammates up the front end as well as in that mid-pack. You can see the two Signature Motorsports fighting hard with Pepper Racing. And on the inside, Tasman Pepper had a big go. Daniel Domini looks like he got out of shape because of that maneuver. And Domini, unfortunately, stuck in the kitty litter now. Kuda Vazuri looking into the rearview mirror knows just how important this is to stay out front. He's got massive pressure being applied from behind, and it's not going to be an easy ride here. He's fighting for a top 5 honour here, and right on his tail you can see a whole pack of cars looking to pounce. Darren Oates is doing a great job trying to find a way through on his teammate Machotsi. So the two development drivers holding on for the lead and for 4th place, but keeping a whole bunch of cars behind them. Darren Oates looking very, very tasty. Also looking for his first victory of the season and his first victory ever in the Engen Volkswagen Cup. Machotsi would love a second one for the season, but you know how hard it's going to be, particularly when you've got John Gerber on your tail and pushing the youngster in the team as hard as he can to try and get through. They head down onto the braking markers. Darren Oates now looking for an overtaking maneuver. Jeff Kruger coming along and closing in on John Gerber. Darren goes wide. Watch him cut back. Look at the different apexes here from the two cars. He might be able to squeeze up on the inside. In fact, he goes on the grass ever so slightly. Darren Oates using a little bit more of the track than what he's allowed to. And nearly makes it sick. Oates is pushing hard. You know how hard he wants this. He definitely wants to take this final victory. The Glassford and C-Track team are doing a super job all season long, and they've been a very competitive package at the front end, fighting with the likes of the development team from Volkswagen, with Signature Motorsport and the Universal Healthcare team. All of these 5 teams have put in incredible dices all season long. They come back into Sunset. Oh, Darren is sliding into Sunset, trying to find a way just to bridge that small gap and find an outbraking maneuver that'll get him through on Jonathan Machotsi. What a turnaround here for Machotsi. Remember, this is the man who didn't have a drive last year. He stepped up into the Volkswagen Driving Academy and Development Team, and he's now banging it with one of our top contenders. Oh, these two youngsters, and once again another bang. The two of them just fighting hard through the S's. No holds barred here between Machotsi and Darren Oates. Darren Oates getting a slightly better drive up the hill. That was only because of the third bang that they did coming into the S's. And under braking, oh no! A little tap from behind from Jean. What a catch though! What is Machotsi smoking today? He has been on it like you cannot believe and managed to catch that car before it hit the kitty litter. That is some incredible driving skills coming out of Jonathan Machotsi. I think Jean Gerber might have just been caught out under braking there. And Machotsi was already a little bit sideways. Gerber with nowhere to go, just helping out a little bit. But a fantastic recovery from Machotsi, and already starting to come back and fight for third. He's got Tasman Pepper on his tail, and Tasman and Jeff Kruger now looking to try and keep Machotsi at bay. Darren Oates now leads out. John Gerber in second as they come through the very fast right-hander. That's Cheetah. It's a little bit of a squirt on now and down onto the brakes. And off the circuit goes Machotsi. That's how hard he's trying. Comes under braking into Ingwe corner the final turn and keeps Tasman Pepper behind him. But running wide like that, he's going to be losing a little bit of ground. Tasman Pepper might be able to capitalize. I don't think he's going to have the same amount of drive as what Pepper was able to get out of that final turn. Matt Shorter looking up ahead and going, yeah, you guys keep that up. One of you are going to end up in the kitty litter. One of you are going to end up with the sideline, and I'm going to move up a position. Awesome to see him absolutely still and smooth as silk under the gear change. And actually closed right up on Tasman and Machotsi into Crowthorne corner. Great driving from the Moog suspension car as they come through into Yuxka, heading up towards Barbecue. Glassford C-Track 1 and 2, Universal Health in 3, Pepper Racing is 4. Moog suspension car up into 5 now as Matt Shorter dives on the inside of that Volkswagen development driver. And Machotsi now unfortunately has dropped back. I think he might have been a little bit rattled. I don't think there's any issues on the car. He doesn't seem to be too worried about the car's handling or anything like that. So he's just probably going to get back into the rhythm. Find that rhythm again to come back and fight for the next couple of laps. There's only a couple to go. He's on the inside. That's great driving. Look how smooth he was coming out of Sunset Corner. Further back, battles continue there. Hubig under attack from Jano and Simon Need. Simon Need having one of the best runs we've seen out of him. And he's all over the back of Jano van der Westhuizen fighting for second and third place in the Masters. Into the S's. And Jano just hangs on, keeping Need out. The man from Mauritius, originally from Wales, doing a great job there in the Photonics machine as it heads up the hill towards Leeuwkop. A little bit of a spreading out here at the front end, so things starting to calm down ever so slightly. But of course, heading into the final couple of laps, it'll probably get a bit more heated for the final time in 2017. Kuduvazuri now, a little over rev coming out of Leeuwkop now, down the gearbox. Remember, those gearboxes can be changing for next year. They're going to go to paddle shift for 2018, and some exciting news coming in the very near future for the Engen Volkswagen Cup. We can't wait to bring you all that news. Darren Oates, though, is looking for his first victory. He's praying for his first victory, and I think everybody in the Harp Racing team are standing on the wall expecting that red wing mirrored car to come through first, and that's exactly what's going to happen. What an awesome drive here from this youngster. He has worked exceptionally hard along with his brother and his teammate all season long, and eventually he's going to get the spoils of all that hard work. The flag is out. He's going to be the first man to take it, and probably the happiest man at the circuit here today. Darren Oates wins out over his teammate John Gerber. Jeff Kruger eventually in third place, with Tasman Pepper not too far behind, but a much better outing for her in the Pepper Racing and Campos car. There's confirmation. Oates and Gerber, your top two from the Glasford and C-Track team. Universal Healthcare's Jeff Kruger in third. Tasman Pepper beating Shorter, Bazuri, Machotsi and Ben Hubig to the line for the top 8. Eventually in the championship, it's 182 plays 128. Jeff Kruger in second, Clinton Besaidnote in third, John Gerber in fourth, but taking the Masters.
Darren, last race of the season. Congratulations on your maiden Engen Volkswagen Cup polo win.
Thanks a lot. I can't believe it, to be honest. I had great pace the whole weekend. I think I messed up my qualifying. So I'm happy that the results paid off now at the end of the day. It's an awesome race. I'm driving the same as I always have. So yeah, I'm glad that the car is where it should be. I want to thank Harp Racing and Glasford. It's amazing. Can't believe it. Thank you.
Ian, it's 21 years in motorsport, and what turned out to be a hobby has almost become a family passion and a business.
Yeah, look, being involved in Polo Cup since the first day, I've been there 21 years. The first one to make a progression was Jordan. He didn't follow Tasman's single-seater route. She came to her senses after a few years and came to Polo Cup. And it's been an awesome 21 years. Yes, it has been a life changer in the family. Jordan's making a career like Calvin and Sheldon overseas, making us proud in South Africa. And I think she's proved now finally all the critics about who is the quickest lady racer in South Africa.
Well, Taz, that is obviously a cue to go to you. You've done international duties in single-seaters, in karting, but you certainly do perform nationally here as well.
Yeah, I mean, Polo Cup has always been so much fun to drive, and like you said, I've raced a lot of other things, but this is definitely the most fun that I've had in a race car. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice progression. Yes, okay, I'm not overseas like my brother is, but I mean, I'm still having fun. I'm still enjoying every moment, and if not, why not, eh?
And Jordan, you started in karting. Polo Cup was where you learnt your racecraft, and you've gone on to bigger, better, and amazing opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. When I started off in karting, and then I think it was like 14, I said to my dad, listen, I want to go, not like my sister, I want to go Polo Cup, and he was all for it. And we plotted a plan. Polo Cup set the foundation. The racecraft that I learned from the guys like Matthew Hodges, Devin Robertson, like the old campaigners, and then also like the new young guns. There was fields of like 34 in the season that I did it. So everything I learned now, I know now I can still look back in polos and say I learned everything from there, and it's a good building block. We went from here overseas, and now I'm lucky to be driving as a fully professional paid driver. It was the dream I had when I was a small kid, with the help of my family and my sister and my dad, who really encouraged me along. I've made the dream like true right now, but yeah, I think I'm only living the dream that everyone wants to live, and I'm going to keep living it for as long as I can.
Mike, we've come to an end of another fantastic and successful season for Engen Volkswagen Cup. But next year, there are some exciting changes.
Yeah, it's the end of the 21st season of Engen Volkswagen Cup, probably the most successful series in the country. Exciting changes for next year, as we go into the 22nd year. Really, really exciting stuff. So can't tell you too much about it now, but watch the space. We've got great stuff planned for next year.
We can't wait, Mark. I can tell you that much. There's been such good racing all season long. Bar-banging stuff, wing mirrors, two-wheeled action, you name it. It's happened here in the 21st running of the Engen Volkswagen Cup. And once again, Engen and Volkswagen keeping us entertained all season long with this one-make formula. 2018 is going to be so much bigger and better, and we look forward to bringing you all that action from the very first round next year at the Extreme Festival. All this action from the Volkswagen Cup 2017 has been proudly brought to you by Engen Primax Unleaded, Volkswagen Motorsport, and their associate sponsors.